Hey, I'm Rejected Shotgun. So today, Blizzard decided to write an in-universe newspaper article about Doomfist, more than confirming what we already knew, that Doomfist is coming into the game. And the information in this article is extremely interesting as it goes into the story of Doomfist, reveals his actual name, and there are lots of hints about his name into his actual identity. So today, let's talk about this. So Blizzard has released a little article on the PlayOverwatch website called Talon Involvement Confirmed in Previous Attack on Helix Facility. And this is an in-universe newspaper article written by a company called the Times of Numbani. So it's basically like the newspaper for Numbani. And the article is discussing basically how Doomfist was broken out of prison by Reaper, and he was brought to Numbani where he beat up all the robots. And when you go into Numbani, you can see all the robots in the spawn room with the big crater in the wall. That was after this story takes place, which we now know Doomfist was broken out of prison by Reaper, taken to Numbani, and then he stole the Doomfist from the payload. If you played the game and you played Numbani back before Orisa was released, you would know that the Doomfist was on the payload, but now it has been smashed to pieces, and all that is left is just a little glass dome. So the article goes on for a while, and in it they describe the details of how basically Doomfist was broken out of prison. However, what is really interesting about this article is the fact that they reveal Doomfist's name. And one user on Reddit managed to figure out how Doomfist's name translated and what it actually means, and it gives us some really big insight into what that actually means for Doomfist's true identity. So I have a pretty crazy theory about Doomfist and his identity, but let me tell you his name first. Doomfist's name is Akande Ogundimu. Now that is not something that sounds like it came naturally out of my mouth, but that is his name, Akande Ogundimu. Now this is an actual translation if you know which languages it is. Akande, his first name, suggestively means the first to arrive. So his first name is literally the first. And then in his last name, it's two words. Ogun, the first part of Ogundimu, Ogun is the god of iron in the same language, in the same ethnicity. So the god of iron, and the latter part translates to hold. So his last name means to hold iron, basically, or the god of iron, which basically, if you translate the first name as firstborn, the second one becomes Iron Holder. So he is the firstborn Iron Holder, and Iron Holder makes me think he's holding iron, aka the Doomfist. So he's the firstborn Iron Holder. That makes me believe that this Doomfist, who was taken out of prison, was the first Doomfist. Now, if you go to Numbani, there are actually 3 Doomfists on the wall. The first Doomfist is known as the Savior. The second Doomfist is known as the Scourge, and the third one is known as the Successor. Now, what all of this makes me think is that this Doomfist is going to be the very first person who actually wielded the Doomfist, and that is just my speculation, but if you look at these 3 posters on Numbani, you can see there is a first one, who I believe is the Savior. Now, the Savior actually has his name printed below it, which is a little unfortunate. His name, I can't even begin to pronounce, but it is not our new Doomfist guy. However, it seems like this Doomfist may be the Successor. Now, I know the Successor was written in Omnic writing, but I have no clue who else this guy could be. The other 2 Doomfists on the posters have names below them, and neither of them match the guy who got broken out of prison. So that is only making me think that this is either the Successor or perhaps even a 4th Doomfist after that. And since his name doesn't match up, but his name literally translates to firstborn Iron Holder, his name basically is the first Doomfist, and he doesn't seem to be anywhere up on these posters, so I think Blizzard's going to have to post a couple more blog posts and reveal a little bit more info before we actually know this guy's identity. But my speculation is this guy is the original Doomfist, the very first one, and while I don't know who he matches up to on these posters here, I will let you guys decide in the comments. If you can figure it out, leave a comment and I will talk about it in my next video about Doomfist. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos on my channel. I post Overwatch news all the time, so you will always be up to date with the latest and greatest in the Overwatch community. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.